Chairman, Ranking Member Cole, members of the committee. I'm grateful for the opportunity to testify. It's regrettable that Ms. Cheney and I must appear before you again seeking floor action on a criminal contempt referral. But other witnesses under subpoena have taken the position that he's above the law and can simply refuse to cooperate with the Select Committee's investigation. While he was an Assistant Attorney General at the Justice Department, Jeffrey Clark was reportedly at the center of efforts to spread misinformation about last year's election and derail the peaceful transfer of power. There's evidence that he wanted to push state legislatures to delay certification, to use the bully pulpit of the Justice Department to spread unfounded allegations about voter fraud. He reportedly went outside normal channels of communication to deal with the White House, and the former president apparently considered installing him as acting Attorney General. As the Select Committee's report lays out, we sought out voluntary cooperation from Mr. Clark. He refused. We subpoenaed him for documents and testimony. At his deposition, he wouldn't answer questions. He bickered with our members and counsel, and then got up and left. This is unacceptable, colleagues. It's unacceptable as we try to gather facts about the violence of January 6th. Let's remember what the Select Committee has set out to do: provide answers to the American people about the worst attack on the legislative branch since the War of 1812, a violent attempt to halt our constitutionally required responsibility of certifying the presidential election, and to learn everything about what led up to that day of violence. Standing in the way of that is unacceptable to me, and it should be unacceptable to all of us who care about the future of the House's oversight authority. If we do not hold Mr. Clark accountable, or anyone else who refuses to cooperate, we are creating a dangerous new norm. We are undermining our own standing as a co-equal branch of government. I want to underscore how isolated Mr. Clark is. The Select Committee has heard from more than 250 witnesses. They include 2 of Mr. Clark's supervisors at the Justice Department. A former White House Chief of Staff is even cooperating with our probe. We are not throwing around contempt referrals left and right. So far, the only person in the same category as Mr. Clark in terms of his defiance is Steve Bannon, who's now under indictment. But Mr. Clark believes he's protected by these sweeping claims of privilege, executive privilege, even though the former president said he wouldn't try to stop Mr. Clark from testifying, attorney-client privilege, even though Mr. Clark wouldn't say who his client is, and I stated last night, Mr. Clark came to us on Wednesday through his attorney stating that he's now claiming Fifth Amendment protections. Mr. Clark previously had the opportunity to make Fifth Amendment assertions on the record and declined, but a Fifth Amendment privilege assertion is very significant. So the Select Committee has agreed to provide him another chance to come in and assert that privilege on a question-by-question basis, which he's required to do by law if he's making such a claim. He agreed to come in, and we'll reconvene the deposition Saturday. But we cannot be delayed. The Select Committee's work is too important. We must be ready to act quickly if Mr. Clark remains in defiance of the Select Committee's subpoena. So I ask for the support of all members to advance the resolution citing Jeffrey Clark for criminal contempt of Congress and referring him to the United States Attorney for the District of Columbia for prosecution. I hope this is the last time we have to come and take up a measure like this one, but I hope to be equally clear that the Select Committee will use the tools at our disposal to get to the facts. I thank my colleagues, and I yield back.
Thank you very much, Ms. Cheney.